Hey everyone, welcome back. It's great to have you here, and if it's your first time, we'd be honored if you liked the video and subscribe to the channel. So here's the big story. Israel has launched strikes on Iran's nuclear program. After this preemptive attack, Iran is expected to respond with missile and drone strikes against Israeli territory and civilians. The conflict is escalating on both sides, with Israel carrying out a wide-ranging and highly anticipated series of airstrikes. On June 24, 2025, Israeli Chief of Staff Lieutenant General Yael Zamir made a public statement. He revealed that Israeli ground commandos had been operating deep inside Iran, giving Israel freedom to act. This wasn't exactly news for many. It was confirmation of what had already been leaked through video clips and eyewitness reports. Before the operation, known as Rising Lion, Israeli intelligence agents had infiltrated Iran as early as June 13. According to Zamir, Israel had complete control over Iranian airspace and every location they targeted. This was made possible by a mix of deception and coordination between Israel's air and ground special forces. For the first time, Israel publicly admitted to conducting ground operations inside Iran. Signs of this had already started to surface around mid-June, when Western media reported that Iran's elite air defense and intelligence units had spent months secretly preparing defenses within the country. Meanwhile, Israeli operatives had been smuggling drones, precision-guided munitions, communications gear, and agents into Iran, hidden in civilian vehicles, suitcases, shipping containers, and disguised as electronics or household items. By early June, teams and equipment were positioned just outside Tehran in Faizabad and other high-value locations. Reports also mentioned a covert drone hub operating out of a suburban building, equipped with launch capabilities and secure power sources. Then, at around 3:30 in the morning on June 13, as dozens of Israeli warplanes launched the first wave of strikes, Israeli commandos on the ground began attacking Iranian radar and anti-air systems using Spike NLOS missiles and drones. These elite teams were dismantling Iran's air defenses from the inside. That's when the mission went from top secret to full-on assault. Ground teams synced with the air campaign, and as drones struck from above, Israeli agents on the ground were feeding real-time targeting data through encrypted channels to Israeli command centers. They jammed radar signals, cut communications, and essentially blinded Iranian forces. According to an intelligence official, the operation was a perfect blend of human agents and tech systems, a hybrid of special ops and deep intelligence work. At the same time, psychological operations were underway. Israeli agents hacked into Iran's telecom networks and made covert calls in Persian to top Revolutionary Guard officers, warning them they had 12 hours to evacuate or die. A leaked audio recording published by the Washington Post confirmed these threats, showing just how precise and calculated Israel's tactics were. The goal wasn't just military, it was psychological warfare, chaos, sabotage, and showing Iran's leadership that Israel knew where they worked, lived, and could reach them anytime. Quick reminder, please hit like and subscribe. It helps get stories like this out to more people, especially since mainstream media often misses them. Every click matters. Back to the story. Once Iran's air defenses and comms were neutralized, around 200 Israeli aircraft swarmed in, striking over 100 targets, including nuclear facilities in Natanz and Fordow, missile depots near Kermanshah, and key Revolutionary Guard command centers in Tehran. The drones hit first, securing air superiority for the Israeli Air Force. They were guided by Mossad ground units and ELW-2085 Nokshan AWACS aircraft flying overhead. By dawn, F-35 Adir, F-16 Sufa, and F-15 Ram jets had completed their runs, bombarding Iran's nuclear and military sites with precision munitions. These jets were refueled mid-air by secret Boeing 707 Ram tankers and newly acquired KC-46 Pegasus aircraft. After decades of threats and saber-rattling, Iran was forced to watch Israeli strike forces disappear into the morning light. Once the strikes began, the commandos vanished back into the landscape. It's not confirmed, but it's likely elite units like Sayeret Matkal and Shayetet 13 were involved. These teams specialize in deep infiltration, sabotage, and stealth. The secret drone base was shut down. Equipment was either stashed away or destroyed, and the vehicles used blended back into normal civilian traffic, at least for now. By sunrise, the results were devastating. Iran's radar systems and nuclear infrastructure were catastrophically damaged. Drones and guided bombs dismantled Iran's strategic depth in just hours. The Fordow enrichment plant, once considered untouchable due to its mountain shielding, was struck at key tunnel entrances. Satellite images showed collapsed access points and signs of secondary explosions. At Natanz, Iran's primary uranium enrichment site, successive failures destroyed hundreds of centrifuges, disabled power lines, and knocked out backup generators, crippling the site. At Isfahan, home to Iran's nuclear fuel production and research infrastructure, bombs left buildings charred and containment domes shattered. In western Iran, a coordinated wave of strikes neutralized missile depots in Kermanshah and Tabriz, destroying bunkers and underground tunnels. Around Tehran, drones knocked out radar and fire control systems before the air campaign, leaving large swaths of Iranian airspace exposed. The human cost was equally severe. The strikes targeted top Iranian strategic mines. Among the dead were General Mohammad Bagheri, Iran's chief of staff and key war planner, and General Hossein Salami, IRGC commander, who was killed while relocating. Amir Ali Hajizadeh, the head of Iran's Air Force and missile doctrine engineer, also lost his life. The head of Iran's military coordination center was killed in Tehran. General Gholam Ali Rashid, commander of the Central War Command, was killed on day 1, and his successor General Ali Shadmani was killed in a separate strike on June 17. Gholamreza Morabi, head of Fordow operations, along with several senior scientists, were killed within days. It got to the point where Iranian officers probably prayed not to get promoted. Iran's military response to Operation Rising Lion came in the form of volume, not precision. In the days that followed, Iran launched hundreds of ballistic missiles and explosive drones at Israeli cities and military installations. But unlike Israel's surgical strikes targeting radar, nuclear sites, and senior officers, Iran's response was chaotic. Air raid sirens went off across Tel Aviv, Haifa, and Beersheba as Israeli Iron Dome and David Sling systems intercepted most of the attacks, boasting a 90% interception rate. Still, some projectiles got through. The worst hit was Soroka Medical Center in Beersheba, injuring dozens. In Tel Aviv, a missile landed near Kiryat, Israel's military headquarters, shaking the National Command Center. Drones and missiles also hit the Weizmann Institute of Science in Rehovot and a tech park in Beersheba. In the north, a drone struck a 2-story building, one of the few confirmed direct hits. Residential areas in Ramat HaSharon, Holon, and Tamra were damaged. Windows shattered and some people sustained minor injuries. The most alarming strike hit near Haifa, damaging part of the Bazan oil refinery and a power station, causing fires and blackouts. While most attacks were intercepted, the few that succeeded showed that Iran's saturation strategy, flooding the sky with projectiles, can challenge even the second-best missile defense system in the world, and it showed that Iran's goal was just as psychological as tactical. In the days and weeks after the strikes, Iran launched a massive internal crackdown. The sheer scale of the operation shocked the nation, not just because of the destruction, but because it exposed the frightening fact that foreign agents had operated inside Iran for months undetected. Iran's supreme leader and his inner circle reacted furiously, vowing to eliminate anyone who might have collaborated with the Israeli attackers, knowingly or unknowingly. Security agencies led by Iran's Ministry of Intelligence and the Revolutionary Guard began arresting suspects nationwide. In the first wave alone, more than 700 people were detained, including border and customs officers, defense ministry technicians, civilian contractors, and low-level Revolutionary Guard officials. Thanks for watching the video. Please support our S News channel by subscribing, liking, and leaving a comment. Stay tuned for more updates.